Oriire Funo, good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are, and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I am Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, Oluwo of the House of Umar, and Babalawo of Ile-Ife, Orisa. This spiritual house, our website, and these video lessons are sanctioned by the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs in Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Opo Ire, abundant blessings to our Egbe, our online community of subscribers that's growing daily. Thank you for joining us for another lesson in our video blog series. Remember, as a member of our Egbe, you can support each other's spiritual journey by posting your questions and uplifting comments in the comment section below. You can also email me using the link in the description section below. If you're new to these video lessons, we invite you to click the links below to become a subscriber, a member of our Egbe. Also, click the notification button to stay up to date, and share this resource with your family, friends, associates, and anyone who you feel might benefit from this wisdom. Homage to the one who sends, and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisa and Egun. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Our topic in this particular video is Oshe Ifa Ritual, Afoshe Part 3, Oju Odu Part 3. Now, each, as we've said this before in the previous two videos in this particular part of our series, each of the 256 Odu Ifa has its own signature, its own name, its own unique signature. The signatures of the Odus are based on a binary mathematical system that pervades the African worldview across the entire cultural landscape of the motherland. Our ancestors recognized this binary characteristic of nature as they observed its presence everywhere around them. And in the previous two videos in this particular section on the Oju Odus, I've mentioned several contrasts, several of these binary manifestations in the natural environment. Day contrasting with night, heaven contrasting with earth. I'm not going to go through the whole list because we've already given you that information. But I would like to encourage you to participate in a group exercise. Let's do a learning exercise together as an Egbe. This can turn out to be a wonderful growth experience for each of us. I want you to think of maybe 3 examples of the binary principle that permeates the creation blueprint and the sacred Odu Ifa. Then post your observations in the comment section below. Now, don't just post the 3 examples you come up with, but also say something about what you learned from at least one of those observations. For example, while I was thinking about doing this exercise, inviting you to do this exercise, I thought of 2 more examples of the binary principle. First one, we have a right hand, we have a left hand. We have a right side of the body, we have a left side of the body. That's binary. We also have 2 hemispheres of the brain, a right and a left. Now, what I thought was interesting in terms of the binary principle is that the left hemisphere of the brain controls the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere controls the left side of the body. So look at how deeply the binary principle is woven into the divine plan for creation. This may also tell us something about how our Ori Ode, our physical Ori, and our Ori Inu, our spiritual Ori, depend on and interact with each other. Again, Ori Ode, Ori Inu, a binary, a manifestation of the binary principle. The second example that I came up with, I thought, okay, in the plant kingdom, the plants have roots, below ground life, and aerial parts, the above ground, the trunks, the stem, the branches, the leaves, and the seeds. Now notice that when the plant matures and its seeds go to the ground, the intelligence embodied in the seed knows that the roots must grow down and the aerials must grow up. Then I asked myself, okay, so what wisdom is there in this observation for us as human beings? For example, although the seeds are born in the air, in the aerial part of the plant or tree, they must be planted in the ground in order to express their potential, their natural gifts and talents. So could this be telling us something about ourselves, that we must dig deep into the foundational knowledge of Ifa tradition if we wish to be able to manifest the branches, the leaves, the flowers, and seeds of our acquired knowledge? Certainly, if you want to be able to share and teach Ifa, and maybe even become an Orisha or a Babalawo, we have to sink our roots deep and deeper in order to grow higher and higher and bear more fruit. So this is the way I want you to kind of think about things as you make your own observations. So post your observations, just things that you see in your everyday life, things that come to mind that reflect the binary principle of creation. And then tell us something about at least one of them, some information about what you thought, what thoughts, what ideas, what notions came to you as you reflected on that particular observation. All of us can grow because we come from different backgrounds, we come from different areas, different parts of the planet, whatnot. And so by sharing and saying a little bit about what you thought from the observations that you made, each of us can grow from these different perspectives that are represented in our egg bay. So I look forward to seeing your comments in the next few weeks. This binary system makes each signature of the Odu Ifa as unique as your and my personal signatures. You can review our earlier lessons in this series to refresh your memory about the binary system of Odu Ifa. So as we've said in the other two videos, a first step in entering the world or the cosmology of the sacred Odu Ifa and the cultural mindset or perspective of our ancestors is to recognize these unique signatures of the Odus. This process begins with the names and signatures of the principal or primary or major Odus called Oju Odu. So in this series, I've given you these Odus in 4 sets of 4. There's 16 of them. And I'm breaking them down in terms of the name, the cosmological quadrant, and again, we've talked about that in previous videos, so make sure you go back if you're not familiar with what we're talking about there. The esoteric or metaphysical correspondence of the Odu, and a very brief, I'm just scratching the surface, but nonetheless informative, a very brief summary of the content character, the quality, the energy, the scent of the message of that particular Odu. So in this lesson, we're looking at the sacred Odus 9 through 12. Number 9, Ogunda Meji. Ogunda Meji comes from the cosmological quadrant Oturupon, which is the east, represents or brings with it the energy of light, positive energy, masculine principle, and the Ashe of fire. Ogunda Meji speaks of victory and relates to Orisha Ogun. It speaks of good fortune belonging to Ori. It warns of fighting, disputes, and imminent hostility. It warns us to watch out for traitors and deceitful friends. It encourages us to offer right ebo to Ogun and to propitiate our Ori. Ogunda Meji is a sign sacred to Ogun and provides wisdom regarding the significance of the masculine energy and its function. It is the primal impetus for evolution at all scales, levels, and dimensions. Ogunda is the impulse to build, create, and protect those things that shift human consciousness and therefore bring about Itayo, transcendence, and Iparada, transformation. Note that the Odu, in this Odu, Ogun is incarnated, the god of iron and war. Ashe, 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 Aboru, Aboye. Number 10, Osa Meji. Osa Meji comes in the Oturupon quadrant, the west. It brings the Ashe of darkness, of negativity, the feminine principle, and the energy of water. And remember, we've talked about, not looking at positive and negative, masculine and feminine as mutually exclusive opposites. We've talked about that, so make sure you go back and check out some of the earlier video material. So Osa Meji predicts plenty of children and riches. This Odu relates to Orisha Onsala, Obatala, and the witches. It implies lack of courage and the tendency to run from a fight or opposition. It talks about travel. It says that the person for whom Osa Meji is cast tends to be good managers of other people's business. This person is easily frightened, won't take risk, stresses the need for spiritual help against bad dreams and witches, Yaje. Enemies who are planning harm surround this person. This Odu also says there should be an Ebo to Shango for strength and victory. This is a sign sacred to the Iyami and the feminine powers, the Ajay. Oya is born in Osa Meji. This Odu speaks of ancestors a lot and the awesome powers of the mothers. The feminine principle in Ifa is the awesome power to create and to destroy. Women, this Odu says, must be respected. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo, Aboru Aboye. Ika Meji, the 11th Odu. Ika Meji comes in the quadrant of Oturupon, north. It brings the Ashe of heaven, the masculine principle, positive energy, and the essence, the Ashe of spirit. Talks about long life, unsuccessful attempts to harm a person, to harm you, but you are protected, it says. Signifies many worries and calls for restraint. Says the person is constantly on guard, cannot trust the family and the friends for help. Says must propitiate Ori and make Ebo to Orunmila and Ogun. This Odu also is a reference to the idea of drawing in power in anticipation of making effective prayer and effective invocation, drawing in power, like, the way that you would, if you're getting ready to push something, to move a heavy weight, you have to draw in, gather your power before you can exercise power. So it talks about the principle of contraction, isoki, the feminine principle. It refers to the gathering of personal power, ashe, the deep breath we take just before chanting oriki. It speaks about one's latent or achieved personal powers. It also speaks about the foundation of the collective power of the Egbe. Power over the world is the birthright of the mothers. And in terms of the collective power of the Egbe, this is one of the reasons we're doing this community activity, this Egbe activity, on the principle of the binary principle of creation, to work together on something so that we can all grow from the use of our collective power. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Aburu Aboye. The 12th Odu is Oturupon Meji. Oturupon Meji comes from the quadrant of Eseopon, the south. It brings with it the Ashe of earth, feminine energy, and negative energy. Oturupon Meji speaks of twins, warns that an attack from witches is imminent. It relates to the Egungun, spirit of ancestors. It speaks of endurance, or signifies endurance. Talks about being rugged, tough, and having dogged determination. It recommends that we sacrifice to Egungun and to Orisa in La, the Obatala. It talks about the tendency to be complacent, to procrastinate and kind of, just kind of coast along. It says we must listen and respect the views or the opinions of parents and elders. The central theme in the African worldview, the respect of elders. This person can be overly bold, stubborn, and confused. It speaks of or invokes infectious disease as a part of the degeneration and rebirth process, suggesting that disease carries with it the potential for immunity from future contact and contagions. And so this is an important concept for us to keep in mind as we're going through this period of, this pandemic, this viral pandemic, to know that, disease is, again, these mutually exclusive opposites. That's not how we think in the world, okay? We think along a polarity, the extremes, but not mutually exclusive opposites. Disease is bad, yes, but good and bad always travel together. So disease is bad, but it brings with it the ability for the body to then develop immunity. That's the good that comes out of the disease. This Odu, Oturupon Meji, points to this kind of understanding of reality. The answer as to the source of disease and the information that Orisa needed to maintain a strong immune system is what this Odu, one of the things that this Odu is speaking about. Abu, yeah, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So again, my hope in sharing these brief overviews of the Odu is that you will come to see the breadth, the vastness, the depth of the sacred Odus and how the sacred oracles of Ifa speak to all of the possible issues that we as human beings might confront in our journey in the Loja. In our next lesson, we'll discuss the signature of the last 4 of the Odu 13 through 16. So don't forget to do the binary principle exercise and post your ideas in the comment section below. Also remember, if you're deriving some personal benefit from these video lessons, click the like button so that you can communicate with YouTube's artificial intelligence algorithms that this channel and these videos should be given more presence in the video news feed, so that we can reach more people and share the wisdom of Ifa. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ki Olodumare, Orisha, Ati Egun, Fifune ni Itona Imoye Ati Opoire. May Olodumare, Orisha, and Egun bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbele, peace of mind from Olodumare. Ajo Lo, Ajo Bo, we go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Also, I'm thinking about it, look for a link. I'm going to put a link in the description section below to a PDF copy of the annual Afoshe, the annual divination that was just done at the beginning of this month. On the Yoruba calendar, the new year begins at the beginning of June. And so a worldwide reading, a reading is done that covers the guidance for all of the devotees throughout the world. So that reading was done in Ile-Ife, and I did a reading as a Babalawo and a member of the council. I also did a annual reading for our Egbe. And so I'm including you all as members of our Egbe. And so I will post that material in a PDF copy. So look for a link in the description section below. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Peace and love.